Welcome.
Attention, please.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome to the No Comfort Zone podcast. It's time to get out of your comfort zone and live on purpose. Broadcasting to the world from Rockford, Illinois. This is your wake-up call.
Warning.
You are the solutions to all your problems. Stop thinking average. Become the hero version of yourself. Every day, every time, without fail, no exceptions. It all matters. You've entered the No Comfort Zone. It's time for a reality check.
Hey, glad you're back in the No Comfort Zone. This is the podcast where it's success and motivation in the No Comfort Zone. This is your reality check. Not many of us need a reality check right now because there's so much nonsense going on out in our world. But I'll tell you about the biggest nonsense that I've experienced. So I got my little home office going, and I ended up trying to record the podcast on my laptop, on my Mac. Normally I do it from my iPhone. I plug a microphone in, I set it up, and I just talk to you like I am right now as I drive into work. But I thought, this would be a great opportunity while everyone's recalibrating, that's what I'm calling it, and get more efficient on doing my podcast. Instead of doing it to and from work, what if I did it in my basement after I'm done working out in the morning? If I record my podcast, kind of give you a rundown of what's going on in the No Comfort Zone and seeing what the No Comfort Zone could do to help you, again, get motivated, get inspired, get a little jacked up, start going after your goals in a major way, quit sitting on the couch and start living the life that you've always wanted to versus the life you're settling for, right? That's what this is all about. So I'm doing it, and I recorded like 3 or 4 in a row because they were different segments. One was a leadership in action. Bottom line is this. I don't mean to go off on that much of a tangent. The bottom line is you're not going to believe what happened. I recorded all of them, and I saved all of them. And then I go to open up my Mac because I don't know how to use the dang thing. I end up doing it, and guess what? There's no podcast there. So, man, I was fired up. I was like, man, there goes, however long it took, let's say 40 minutes to do those. Down the drain, and I thought I had them because I normally do a few in a row and then release them periodically or release them all on a Sunday, for example. If you've been listening to this for a while, you know that I put a lot of them up on Sunday. I'm trying to do it one a day. I think that'll be better to consume it one at a time. But anyway, so it's funny because I'm going to talk about routine. I'm going to talk about differentiating yourself. I'm going to talk about going after your goals. And that's what I'm going to talk about today in today's podcast. So let me get right into it. Hope you're doing well. And remember, these adverse times, these times right now, are how you're going to define yourself for the next 3, 4, 5, 10 years. Okay? You need to know that right now, how you're behaving when all this stuff goes on is the definition of who you're going to become, that version of yourself. So if you're not the version you want to be at yourself, if you're whining, complaining, playing the role of a victim, if you're frightened, scared, insecure, and all that other stuff, stop it. Now's the time to stop it. Now's the time to get out of your comfort zone and start living on purpose with intention, right? So that's what I'm here to bring you. So a couple of things. First thing is this. So I'm watching the news the other night in Rockford, and there's a restaurant, Lino's, that's in town. And there's the co-owner of the restaurant that ended up doing a lot of curbside service. Lino's a great pizza restaurant, old school Italian restaurant, great ownership, and been in the community for a long time. They're good people. They have a good restaurant. They have a good customer base, wide customer base too. So what they're doing is because of their gigantic customer base, they're working day and night to do roadside, service to make sure that they stay afloat. But what they've done I thought was interesting is other businesses that don't have as big as a customer base or are having problems selling their fruits and vegetables, selling things, what they're doing is they've sold them to this restaurant Lino's, and he announced that what they're doing is they've marked it up a little bit, stay profitable, but they're not gouging anybody, and they just want to take care of their customers, and they're doing that. The prices are extremely fair. There's no gouging, and they're just doing a great thing, and the cars were lined up. There's a lot of value in what they're doing, and I just think it's great to see that. To be a part of that in Rockford is great. And what was interesting though is he mentioned while he was talking, he's a young guy. I told him he should run for mayor one of these days because I've known him previously before he had the restaurant and stuff. He actually dealt a car deal with me a long time ago and helped somebody else buy a car. Anyway, good dude is all I'm trying to say. He ended up talking about how he hasn't seen his wife in a while and she has an autoimmune issue. And the young man broke down in tears and wept. And it was super sad to see because how this coronavirus is taking it to the next level. So not only is their business struggling, they're working really hard to stay afloat, But in addition to that, he's got personal issues. He hasn't seen his wife in 2 weeks. Now think about it. You've fallen in love with somebody, you marry them, you actually love them and you like them and you want to be with them. And now because of all this stuff, you're working extra hard and you really can't, be in connection with that other person as far as, being truly connected physically, emotionally. Yeah, but it goes such a long way when you can actually be physically connected to somebody, and they don't have that option right now. That's not happening for them. And the guy's exhausted, and he just broke down on national, on the local news. He broke down and how hard it is. And I'm sure there are a lot of people that are going through that right now. In my case, I don't have it that bad. I just, there's a lot of employees that I don't see right now because they're at home as we try to figure this out and what the next step is going to be. And it's a challenging time. So why do I bring this up? Because I know that people are they're in adverse times right now. Adversity is happening right now. I also know that some people maybe are getting ready to go into some major adversity out there in the world, or there's people that have, just come out of it. And I think I've been in all three, and that's where you're at in your life most of the time. So what I want to share with you today is a solution from the No Comfort Zone Blueprint, and from, helping people get out of adversity and to help people, really truly become the version of themselves. You can't be a victim right now. You cannot play that role because it'll just make matters worse. It'll compound your problems. What I want to share with you is a success schedule. Now, a success schedule, I used that when I was doing sales and management training. I still do today. I break my days into hours and then into 20-minute segments about what I'm going to do and what I'm going to accomplish. Hey, if I can get through a third of my day, right, and I accomplish those things, I am doing fantastic. Maybe you feel the same way. But truly, the night before I put my goals together, about 15 minutes before I go to bed, what are the 3 things I'm going to accomplish? What are the 3 things I'm definitely my not to do list that I'm going to get caught up in? And, I need to focus on those 3 things that I'm going to accomplish. So when I wake up in the morning, I know those 3 things. First one goes to health. Second one goes to my mindset, where I'm going to go. And the third one's actually taking some action towards one of those 3 goals that I'm going for that day, or all 3 of them, depending on how it goes. So my problem is I have 10 things on a to-do list and I can't accomplish any of it because I'm so random and so scattered. Well, if I focus on 3, I can accomplish that, So why is the success schedule important? It's important because it can keep you focused, because like the young man I was mentioning before, if you're dealing with a tough day, well, you can focus on the next customer, the next drive-through, and it's not until you're alone or when it's quiet or when you go home do you feel the exhaustion, or when you stop the routine. When I went through the biggest challenges in my life, which was making a decision to go into the Marines, making a conscious decision to go into rehab, when I went through those 2 things, the biggest thing I learned from that is structure. The Marines, first thing they do is you don't sleep for 3 days. And then when you do sleep, you don't get very much of it. You go to bed late and you get up really early. And you're constantly busy. Every 15 minutes, whether you're in Marine boot camp or in rehab, is accounted for. There is very little time for your mind to wander. There's a reason for that. Well, the same thing in the No Comfort Zone. If you're dealing with challenges right now, you're focusing too much on the challenges, truth be told. It's bringing you down. You need to focus on what you can control. So, for example, as my power schedule is 4:55 in the a.m. wake-up call, getting ready to get workout by 5 a.m. I'm at the treadmill, or I'm getting ready to do my workout, so I'm going to work out for 20 or 40 minutes, and that's it. That's what my day is going to look like. Cardio, weight training, whatever it's going to be, and I do that in my basement, which is where this whole thing started. Since I've started it, I've tried to go to a gym and stuff, but there's just too many distractions for me, and there's too many people to meet. And quite frankly, I just want to get my workout and get done. For me, that's good. Maybe as I advance in my workouts, I might go do that later. I also have a personal trainer. I haven't seen him in a while because I'm dealing with a knee injury, but my power schedule is 4:55 in the a.m. wake up. Review my goals really quick. What are the 3 things today I'm going to kill, go after? What am I going to go for today? What's my purpose for being today? Then right after that, I'm going to get on my treadmill. I'm going to do my cardio. I'm going to do my weight training, whatever it is. And then by 5:40 or so, I'm actually upstairs getting hydrated, doing the meal replacement, getting all that stuff done and organized. And I'm getting to that space where I can actually begin to get ready for the rest of my day. So there it is. By 6 o'clock, I'm in the shower, taking care of business, getting ready to get ready for my day. At 6:30, I'm out. At about I'm dressed and ready to go. 6:30 to 7 is all about me planning and structuring, getting a little bit of work done before I go into work on my personal stuff and getting my mind right for work. And then about 7 to 7:30, I spend that time with my wife. We have coffee, we catch up, we go over our plan for the day, we check in with each other. Most of the time she adds additional stuff to my lunch to make sure that I'm eating enough, because I'll be gone for the next 10 hours. And then once I'm 7:30 in the car, I do a podcast on the way to work. I listen to motivational things that I was listening to earlier in the morning, like when I was working out on YouTube, or different programs that I've downloaded. Then from there, what I do is, I'll do the podcast, what's relevant, what's going on in the No Comfort Zone, and then I'll listen to some more programs on my way to work or a book. And then by the time I get to work, it's all work time. So from 8:30 in the morning till about 8 in the evening, that's my employer's time. I focus on leadership. I focus on moving the needle. I focus on what I can do to be the best employee as a general manager of 3 dealerships. And then on my way home, I'll do either another podcast. I'll check in with my wife. And by the time I get home, about 9 o'clock, we'll have family dinner. That's what we do at night. It's not the healthiest thing, but we have a family dinner at that time. About 9:30, we clean up, and then roughly an hour for me and my wife to catch up. And then roughly at 10:30, we're in bed. We sit there for about a half an hour. We catch up some more. And I plan out my day right before I go to bed, and I do it all over again. Now, the whole goal of this is to spend about 3 hours to 4 hours a day living my dream day. And if you notice, the way my day starts at 4:55 and my workout, that's part of my dream day. Planning and working on my stuff that makes me feel good, like talking to you, doing the podcast, that's the 3 or 4 hours. That's my dream day. That's what I want to do every day, every time, without fail, no exceptions. And the work part, I enjoy my work, and it's one of those things to do 12 hours a day. I don't know if it's what I want to do the rest of my life, but for right now, I enjoy it, and I get a lot of satisfaction out of it because it is my purpose. So I hope this podcast really helped you a little bit. We're a little bit longer today, but to go through that schedule, that's part of the No Comfort Zone blueprint. And when you dial up and you're trying to get out of problems, I try to put structure in your way. We talk about where you're at on the power call. I listen to what you have to say. I take a few notes. And then while we're on that call, I'll actually apply the blueprint, how you can solve problems and go on with your life. And then if you want more, you can get more. But really, it's about 20 minutes of you letting me know where you're at in your life. And then about 10 minutes me providing you a solution and how you can use that blueprint to start going after your problems. And the responses have been great. It's like a secret following. It's not really blown up, but I'll tell you this, there's people that have gone through adversity that look at the blueprint and they go, man, you make problem solving so simple, because it is. Where everything's figure outable, and going after your goals is nothing more than solving a few problems, right? So whether you're getting out of adversity or you're going towards your goal, to me, it's the same thing. And it starts with a success schedule. So if you want a success schedule with the blueprint, email me, Dan at the No Comfort Zone. I could email it out to you, what I would do and how I would look at things a little bit more detailed with the one I talked about today. But, if you find yourself dealing with adversity today, try to get yourself into a routine. Routines can help a lot. And remember, it all starts in the morning, how you start your day. And if you're having a bad 15 minutes, man, focus on the next 15 minutes that you can crush, and you can be the ideal version of yourself with intention. Be the person you want to be. I hope today you get outside of your comfort zone and live on purpose.
Say goodbye.
Want more of the No Comfort Zone? You can follow Dan on Instagram and Twitter at No Comfort Zone 1.
Bye.
Or on the web at thenocomfortzone.com.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the No Comfort Zone podcast.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.